France has an insanely good counting system. Or French, I should say, not France specifically. I remember almost nothing from 10 years of public school education about how to speak French, but I can still count to 100 without a doubt. I'm not gonna do it for you because it's like the most boring content of all time, but that information is locked in my brain. Explain quatre-vingts. It's 480 is 420s. Blaze it. It's like it's based on composition, right? Like I get that you could also make it 24s. I'm just saying that at least it's easier to remember than just having to learn like a specific name for each tens column category. 80's whack in French. You're crazy. 80 is quatre-vingts. It makes perfect sense. It's 420s. I can't even, it's so self-evident, I'm mad I have to explain it once more. It insists upon itself. Most other languages just do 8/10s. Oh, I was speaking from the perspective of English, where we have to learn... Well, actually, now that I think about it, maybe actually English is pretty good. Because I was going to say, like, in English, we don't call it 8/10s, but then I was like, you know what? 80's kind of like, that's 8/10s. Okay, fair enough. You know what? I've decided to rescind my previous take. I've decided that that was based on ignorance, and I didn't know what I was talking about. 24 is also quatre-vingts. You don't know what you're talking about. 24 is vingts quatre. It's like you're not even paying attention in class. How is counting in Korean? I have no idea, because I never remember, like, past 6. Il, I, samsa, u, yuk, chill, pal, something, gong, I think is 10. I don't know. I never had to order 9 of something, okay? But then also in Korean, you don't use the same counting system for every purpose. Like you, if you're ordering, like 2 in Korean is E. But if you were ordering like 2 beers, you would not say like, 실례합니다, 이 맥주, or 맥주 이 개 주세요. You would be like, people would be like, what are you talking about? You've got to learn a separate numbering system that I guess you only use for beers. You got to say, 실례합니다, 맥주 두 개, because it's dol, or dual, but then you drop the L for some reason. You got to go, 실례합니다, 맥주 두 개 주세요. So I didn't learn enough of the language in order to understand why some numbers are used for counting and some numbers are used for beers. When I speak Korean to Kate, she's like, even your Korean ordering is not good because basically duge is like, give me 2 of that object. She's like, no, when you're ordering beer, you don't say duge, you say like du byun, I'll have 2 bottles, or like do something else, I'll have 2 glasses. And I was like, what the hell? It never stops, man. And then it really puts it in perspective. Because Korean is not really that hard to start to learn, and English is impossible. So I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I've been complaining about how hard, like, you know, Korean is to learn. Meanwhile, I like just accidentally learned how to speak a language that's much more stupidly designed. English is omega easy? What are you talking about? English makes no sense. English is so easy to learn. It's amazingly easy. I think it's only easy because I learned it when I was a little kid. No, honestly, English is pretty easy. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I'm monolingual. It's both the hardest and the easiest language I've ever learned in my life. As a second language, it's pretty easy. Well, like, is it... and I'm not trying to just play devil's advocate. Is it one of those things where, like, if you speak another language that English is related to, it's easy enough to learn? Because I did feel like it was kind of hard for the Korean students to understand English when I was teaching at ESL. But then there's also the idea that, like, in English we have like subject, verb, object order, right? So we do like, I eat an apple. And then in Korean and other languages like it, they do subject, object, verb. So they do like, I, apple, eat. The easy part of English is that it's easy to immerse yourself in the language because it's the most common parlance on the internet. It's so funny that English is the lingua franca. France, what are you doing? It was called the lingua franca, and then you let it not be French? You got caught slacking? You got caught looting, son! France fumbled the bag? I can't even imagine, man. Holy cow. How on earth is the lingua franca not French? Like, French was the lingua franca when they named the lingua franca, and then lost the title immediately. That's crazy. That's what you get for having masculine and feminine words. Needlessly complicating things. Oh, sorry, when you're talking about a bathroom, it's la salle de bain. Are you stupid? Bathrooms are girls. Shit makes no sense at all. Like, and I'm being like non-ironic, like actually makes no sense. As somebody who's never learned how to speak the language, but is acting like I'm an authority on the subject. Hello? Any enemies in the chat right now? Probably after what I just said. Bathrooms are male in Spanish? Does nobody see how messed up this is?